True. And also, one interesting thing I have in your bio is you are also a Reiki energy healer, so a Reiki master. So, tell us something about how do these energy healing techniques work? So, basically, because there's a lot of voodoo around it, right? It's not something that you can see or tangible or something that the Western medicine maybe supports or doesn't support. So, how does it really work? And like these all these different energy healing techniques we have.
Yeah, that's a good question. It's kind of like when you were transferring Reiki energy to someone's body, it was transferring the energy of the universal life force, right? So you can
Mm-hmm.
imagine as um, like your cell phone receiving, right, signals.
Right,
We don't see it, but you're getting the connection, right? Like we're connected
right.
right now. So there are many kinds of energy. We don't see it, but we can feel it, and you can see things working. And
Right.
it, there are very little studies on Reiki, but that the number of studies are growing, and there are some that and they really report people after surgeries like it. Whoever has tried Reiki, they will give you feedback that they have felt the difference.
Yeah, so it's,
But
I guess it's something that you really have to experience to uh
mm-hmm,
like experience the feeling of it because it's not something that's not like a pill you can take and you can
yeah.
know what's happening.
But luckily, it's growing. Even Dr. Oz really recommend after surgery. And
Okay.
yes, and there are over, I think the numbers are growing, like there are over 60 hospitals offering Reiki to their patients,
Okay.
including Stanford, healthcare hospitals.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's more of it helps you I guess more with like reducing stress and anxiety, those kind of things also, right? So
Yes.
that your body gets into this calm state wherein it can like actually think of how you can like heal yourself
Mm-hmm.
by itself. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's something new.
Mhm.
So I guess yeah, I think we can let's see if we have any questions from the audience that we can
Okay.
take in. I have a couple of them that I received on the Instagram chat and Facebook. So do we get started with those?
Okay.
Yeah. So there was one question that said about diabetes. So it said like, is it true like if I eat too much sugar, I'll get diabetes? So or because we know if you have diabetes, you don't eat sugar or you should control your sugar intake.
Yeah.
But is it like if I eat too much sugar, will I get diabetes? Or like is it a myth? Or what's the real story there?
So that's thinking very narrow, right? We have to really like look at your whole diet, like your whole lifestyle, not only
Mhm.
how much sugar you're eating, like what else are you eating besides sugar? Like I mentioned
Exactly.
earlier, are you eating high fat diets,
Exactly.
right? If you're eating, consuming more calories than you use, that's going to be stored in your body as fat. So you really
Right.
have to pay close attention to your diet and lifestyle in general.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the whole idea, right? The holistic point of view. That's what is so interesting. It's just not limited to food or just not limited to. It goes like together. There's the whole lifestyle change that you have to build around it, for any kind of illness, I guess, to take charge of it or kind of delay it or prevent it. So that goes a long way, like building sustainable habits and
Yes.
everything around it. Yeah, so that's good. So yeah, so eat if you're eating sugar, but yeah, watch out for it
Yeah.
and see like what all they could be like hidden sugars and everything too in our diet. So check your
Mhm.
diet and check what your lifestyle is like, how you sleep and everything is together. So yeah, so and another question was yes about yoga. So any specific asanas that you would recommend for people who have diabetes or in the or are in the pre-diabetic range or anyone like who has a history of diabetes who hasn't acquired it still but would want to practice or have that routine set so they can delay it or like prevent it for like the later
Mhm.
good.
Yes. It could be the rabbit pose. It's slightly. It looks like the child's pose, but your knees are together, and then
Okay.
you know, just do the fold, just kind of just like a child's pose, and just
Okay.
stay on that for maybe 5 minutes, and then
Okay.
just try some twisted pose, right? and also legs up the wall. That's very important for,
Okay.
especially for diabetics.
Oh, so legs up the wall, as in like
Yes,
you lay down and take like a wall support, and then
yes,
you just lie down like a L shape kind of.
yes,
Oh, okay.
exactly.
Oh,
You
okay,
can have
interesting.
legs on the wall, or you can just hold on to it, like in the middle of the living room. Just try to hold on. If you could, avoid using the wall. Actually, the wall it's even better
Okay.
because you're really activating your internal organs.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
instead of
Yeah.
resting on the wall.
Without the support, yes. So
Yeah,
maybe, yeah, if you are like finding it difficult, start with the wall and then
yeah,
gradually see that you can stay in that L shape without the wall support.
exactly. Yeah.
That's interesting. So yeah, so rabbit pose, and the twisting poses, and
Mhm.
anything like you mentioned before, anything, any of those abdominal poses or asanas that you could do to like kind of activate the internal organs too.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's really interesting. Good new information I learned today. That's cool. And yeah, I know that you do a lot of cooking, and then especially around these times, I know a lot of people are cooking at home. And then, what's your favorite recipe if you had to mention? So this was something like this is my question. So
Okay.
what do you cook more often at home, and what's your like go-to recipe, the quickest and the fastest one that you do generally?
Mm, we've been like as a meal. I love kale. I could eat
Oh,
kale, like salted kale with garlic. Garlic greens. That's
wow,
yeah, and
sounds yummy.
yeah, I like a garlic, and definitely a side of beans, and
Uh-huh.
or white rice, or brown rice.
Right.
Very
Good.
simple but tasty. Just make it tasty. Like make a tahini dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just add a lot
It's
of flavor.
like a complete meal. Yeah.
Yes.
That's nice. And any specific recipe that you mention or that you recommend your clients who are like in the pre-diabetic range? So anything specifically that you mention to them, or like just eat like controlled portions of whatever they have been eating generally? Like any ingredient or any vegetable maybe you think this has to be on your diet if you are wanting to like control your sugar and stuff.
So I usually don't tell them exactly like you have to eat this. I really just focus on that. Like let's focus on one thing at a time. Like let's lower your fat intake first. Let's take a look at
Mm-hmm.
your sugar, how much sugar you're consuming. And it's
Okay.
slowly as they walk away from those foods, they will automatically increase more vegetables and more fruits and more
Okay.
grains.
Right. So you go in like stages and then you
Yeah.
kind of incorporate that whole,
Mm-hmm.
what do you say, like an ecosystem kind of around the food eating habits.
Yeah, because
That's
not everyone is ready to change radically and dramatically
right.
like that quick. So we have to
Yes.
take little steps.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. Makes sense totally. Like, yeah, baby steps, however it goes.
But one
Anything
thing,
that helps you achieve your healthy, happy self.
yes, one thing I have seen after working for 4 years with
Mm-hmm.
diabetes prevention alone is um, every single one, they do not eat enough fruits and vegetables,
Oh,
enough whole
okay.
grains. So that's something to really pay attention.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so if anyone watching who is not really eating their fruits and vegetables and whole grains, so start thinking about it and think of recipes that you can use to include them more and more in your diet.
Yes,
So that way you could like be taking like a preventive measure so you don't get into this whole diabetes or any other chronic illnesses for that matter.
that's true.
So that's really interesting. So yeah, so as so the last question that I have for you on this live chat today is, what could be your three tips for our viewers to live like a healthy, happy life?
Okay, that's nice. Um, Definitely stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
With this, with some, the summer.
Yeah, it's
Um,
hot.
yeah, and again, really focus on eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. Eat the rainbow, right?
Yes.
Try to incorporate all those beautiful colors in your diet to make sure you're getting all the different nutrients that comes from them.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm.
And yeah, one more. There's
Yeah,
drink water with fruits and vegetables, and the third one.
yeah. Let's see. Really take time to, for self care. That's very
Yes, that's what even I was thinking of. I was
yes.
like, oh, yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, self-care is really, really important. Yes.
Yes. Even if it's just 5 minutes walk in nature, just really take some time for yourself.
Yeah, true. That's interesting. So, yeah, that brings us to the end of this live chat session today. Thank you so much, Elisangela. This was our first episode on the Summer Speaker Series, and it's been wonderful talking to you. And
It's been a
thank
pleasure.
you so much for answering our so many queries and questions over diabetes,
Yeah.
yoga, and then the Reiki energy part of it.
Mhm.
So I guess our viewers must have definitely picked up a few things which they could really incorporate in their daily lives. And yeah, like I said, I'll be mentioning all your contact details in the video description. So if you want to reach out to Elisangela, feel free. All her website and social media handles. So thank you so much, Elisangela,
Thank you
once
so
again.
much for having me.
What? Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, sure, sure. It was a pleasure having you.
All right.
Thank you.
All
See ya.
right.
Bye.